today we are just trying to make sure that the audio is working better because I think that I've actually removed a lot of the presets that come with the mic, and so I'll have to work on how the expander, the compressor, and the limiter work in this case. Do we go to the defaults? And yes, we can do that definitely. That is one of the best options. Whoa. And I also have coffee, which is something that you need if you want to get anything done in this world. Coffee is the greatest human invention, right after fire, rope, uh, ladder, hammer, swords, knives. Knives are a better invention than swords. I think they are just tiny swords. Uh, Like someone thought, whoa, what if I make this longer? And then that is a sword. I think that is how sword was invented. Anyhow, anywho, we need to make sure that everything is working properly and that we also have a compressor added. So, I mean, do we need a equalizer? Because that would also help in reducing the overall noise. So I think that I'll go with a three band equalizer, and we'll just reduce the lows so that uh, increase the mids a bit and reduce the highs. Can I actually listen to this? Because that monitoring would be uh, a much better option for me right now. Let's just see if I got something that I can monitor it with. And we are going to go to advanced audio properties. Let's just say, okay, I want the monitoring on. Hello. Okay, I'll move the monitoring to my headphones actually so that it is audible. Right, so now I can kind of listen to this, and it's just weird. It's just weird. Okay, hi, hi, hi. I just up the high. And what if I just lower everything else? Hello, you're listening to Radio FM. No, it feels weird. It definitely feels weird to hear your thought a split second after you just say it out loud. It's just weird. Okay, now my voice is quite heavy. Let's go back to defaults and let's up the mids a bit, uh, lower the lows so that we don't actually catch some of those. Right. So now a compressor would definitely be useful. I'll just lower the ratio to 5 is to 1, and I'd want to clip it at uh, around 12 decibels. Uh, we can also kind of work on the output gain, but it just doesn't seem like that would be required. Hello, and this is Aditya. I am insane. Okay, I don't understand these settings because it is the first time I've been through this. So let's just try uh, OBS equalizer. I think that should kind of give us something. Okay, so the high sounds are like kind of the S's, the SH, and um, those click sounds, and we want to get rid of them. Is this going to work? Is it better? That's the only thing that I care about. Okay, so now this should work much better. Okay, now I can kind of go over here and just work through this. And that, I think, is all I needed to get this done. Let's get back to work. Let's see, we can go back to code. Vercel wants to charge me $10 extra per month to analyze page speed. So basically, I had to disable it. I don't want it, it's too expensive, at least for now. When I've got maybe a lot of users, that would not matter as much. But for now, it does matter, like it does. Let's just go back to and see if we have any updates. The reason why I use PNPM instead of NPM is because PNPM just creates this symlink and stores all of your dependencies in one place. So, like they are cached on your system and you can use them across multiple of your projects. Whereas NPM would actually reinstall them for each of these projects, and that would just end up taking up more space on your system. So PNBM is just much more friendly for local development. Another thing is for maybe a monorepo. If you are creating one, PNPM is generally a much better option than NPM. Okay, not a lot of updates. Let's see if Svelte has anything. Okay, it does have something, so we'll have to definitely check it out. Uh, okay, so there's a simple fix right here. Have you actually seen this new browser? Like I was trying it out after Theo made a video about it, and it just seems like a really good browser option. So it's called Zen, and it's just really well designed overall. I think the primary focus of theirs is performance, which a lot of modern browsers have just uh, maybe they just don't care as much about because they are a lot more bloated. They have got trackers, they have got insane amount of features, and everything just launches as soon as you launch the browser itself. uh, Leads to a poor experience for the user generally. And so Zen is a new take on the old browsers, specifically on Firefox, because it has taken that same engine and it is trying to make it more robust, more useful, uh, much better in performance generally. So, like, I was trying it out, and I have to say that it is fast. Like, it doesn't like it feels like a native app, like I'm running it on my phone or something, and everything is just really responsive. It doesn't feel clunky at all. And the best part of it by far, and I don't think any other browser actually has it right now. So if I go over to right, I have the option to actually split the screens. So let's just see how we can do that. Okay, where is the split tab option? Okay. Okay, so this is how simple it is. They even have like these. Oh man, there's these really cool bindings available too. Oh, seems pretty cool. Let's just try something else. But what if I want to customize which one I'm using? So if I'm here, these two are now linked, right? And instead of this one, I want this one in my split view. Okay, I get it now. Okay, okay. So we'll need to select these three, and now we can go over to the split view tab. Split three tabs. And it's just really cool to have this feature. Like maybe you don't want it, but this is like one of the coolest things ever in a browser. Like the browser can be the entire workspace. You can have over here your editor of choice. There are many web browser based ones that are really good. IDX comes to mind, then this Tagblitz. Uh, and VS Code also. VS Code is available in the browser too. Pretty cool project. Should I actually move to it right now? Maybe. What the hell? Let's just try it out. Oh man, I forgot my password again. Damn. After infinite tries, I was able to correctly guess my. It's based on a pattern, and I forgot the pattern actually. It's so insane, right? So I'm going to go with this now. Let's try this browser, right? I think it is really promising and definitely worth a try. So let's just go with let's just open a particular was listening to music and that just went away. Let's just go with this one, right? Let's just go back and open link a new window so that I can just get it out of my view. Just get this over here. Uh, yeah, works pretty cool. And let's just get this working. All right. Ooh, it's really responsive as well. What else would I have to do in order to get this done smoothly? Okay, so I think this will work for now. I can turn this uh, into a task list with the help of my friend Claude. Claude. Claude is awesome. Okay, so I have a structure from my friend Claude. Claude is awesome. Let's see. Plan and design the new combined guides page structure. I've already done that. Okay, so I have got only one course. So it does not actually create any issue. Okay, so I'll have to map that out. Basically, if I've got, let's just say if I have, right, I have something like this. I created this awesome. It just feels so smooth, right? LOL. I'll have to recreate this, but I think that the blog pages can also use the same feature. Uh, though I'll have to see how to manage that properly. So let's just try and go back to our Zen browser and go to the local host. Okay, so this is the format that we have right now. Uh, this is the format. This is the dead one, and this would be the newborn one. Uh, Guide. Okay, but how would I be able to then club it in a way that actually makes sense? Uh, Maybe the URL does not have to make actual sense. Okay, so it would be something like this, right? And then we go ahead and have a blog and then title of post. So we'll have something like this going on for us. uh, and we can set that up quite easily. The main thing would be to actually transfer all of these things in a way that actually does not cause any issue for us right now. So going ahead, I'll think I think that I can really use the Zen browser and its various formats to actually get things done. I want to log in and I will log in with GitHub. 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 GitHub is so awesome, right? It is so awesome. Oh man, let's just keep on going. We didn't set a timer, which is just so idiotic. Like if you look at the responsive view for this, I did some really nice things with it. And let me just go ahead and well, let's try on iPhone 12 and move this over to the left or right, and make this like somewhat smaller. I I want it to be a bit smaller. Uh, in Chrome, I used to have that option. Here just doesn't feel like there's that option, but here's the button that I worked on a bit. And what it essentially does is on the left hand side there are topics related to the, which is a pretty good experience. But I'm thinking that a much better experience would be to have a bottom toolbar here which would provide all of these features right out of the box. Torolakambanda. Damn, damn. Let's see. I mean, I wish there was a feature to actually switch the type of page that I have. I think that would make it easier. Uh, Let us go with. Okay, do I have the option to actually move the split? Uh, okay, so right now I cannot actually uh, have it in a way that actually shifts them around. So yeah, that would be a problem. Uh, but nonetheless, I think it isn't that big of a problem, in my opinion, at least for now. At least we can just go ahead and start with the first one. Now, this is going to be a lot of boring work, so I understand if you don't want to be here for it. I think an easier option for me would be to actually query this content and then to uh, send it to Prismic. Like they do have a really good, uh, they have a really good. Well, let me save this. Okay, should I go with the migration API? I think they really had this one new feature on it, so I think I'll be able to try it out. And this seems like a very useful case for that. Huh, huh. So for that, of course, I cannot actually show that on the link here, but 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 let's just try the migration API and its new features. Uh, we are going to go with clear and exit, and we'll also close this. That pretty much does it for us right now. I can open up the terminal, and this is a really nice feature. Like if you haven't tried it, uh, FFmpeg lets you remove silence from an audio. So if you have a 1 hour recording and you want to remove all of the silence from that, you can simply run the script and it will just do the trick. Pretty cool, in my opinion. But let's just move on. No, maybe I'll go into test. Let's just go with this. I'm trying to get it from course uh, to something, right? I'm trying to get it from course to uh, mm, 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 mm. What am I trying to get it to? Okay, I'll just go with that. Uh, let's just try next. Uh, should I create a new project with Svelte itself? Uh, npm create Svelte at latest. I think that would be a good enough solution. I don't want TypeScript. I don't want any of these except Svelte 5 and px Svelte add, and I think I'll be able to use uh, some things. And for now, I just want Tailwind and nothing else. Do I want the typography plugin? I don't think so. Uh, 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 what do I want to go with right now? Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's just go ahead and start working on this. I can have a button to trigger a particular action, right? And okay, now I need to go ahead and work on uh, Prismic's actual migration API. And I think that they had a pretty cool new feature available right now. I read about it, but I don't know. Okay, so they have the HTML to Prismic rich text feature. And I don't think I'll need that right now for this use case in particular. I think this isn't useful right now, but I do think that I want to be able to get some of the content. Okay. Okay, so this is something that I'll have to work on with a lot more privacy because I'm working with the API keys right now and I just want to get them into VS Code so that we can get started on work. Right. So, some of the things that we can definitely do is store the main tokens and things like that. And in the okay, let's get it into Prismic right now. I'll create a .env file and I'll also have this for migration API. So I'll have the right API stored as well. So now I have two tokens. I have the permanent token and the right token, right? Uh, right. Yeah, right. Sure. And we can work across the two. Let's just see what else we have to get in order to be able to use it easily. Uh, okay, I need the repository ID. Now, where do I get my X API key? Uh, okay, I'll need the X API key. And I'll just copy the curl requests that they have as reference so that we can actually uh, so I think I have everything ready. And I'll also copy their example in a readme file. Okay, so that does it. Right now, I can get started with us. Okay, let's just let's just get back to it and see what we need to do. And definitely, I want an on-click event over here. Right, right. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, we have everything set up properly. Let's just see the kind of uh, Hello? Yes. Okay. So I had to take that call. Anyhow, no biggie. Yeah, I also need the X API key. I can definitely go with headers. I think the first thing that I need to do is to simply get the content. So I'll just use a. I think I'll just yoink it from here. But more importantly, I need the document API because that is. I think I can also go with Prismic client in order to get like fetch the. Okay, so maybe I'll have to take a look at that too. Uh, let's just see if I have all of the things that I need in order to get this done. I need a ref. Uh, I don't see ref. How do I get the ref? Uh, 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 ref. Let's just read through this and see if we can get it. Though, where do I get the ref from? Where do they give me the ref? Let's see. Okay, so I've got the ref that I can get from. Um, I can get the ref by going to the API browser, I guess. Let me just try it out. See where the API browser link is. It's somewhere around here. I'm pretty sure about that. Uh, though I'm struggling to find it right now. The access token also goes with the uh, okay. Okay, so I think that in that case, Prismic client is the way to go. Instead of me actually uh, messing things up, I'll just go ahead and let's just okay, I'm not in the terminal. Okay, Prismic slash client. Let's just see if that gives us everything that we need in order to work with this whole thing. And it seems like I'll also have to create a form so that I can actually work with this whole thing, because of course I cannot import private fields and client side. uh, I'll have to append all of them with public, which isn't an option that I want to go for right now, right? So I'll just go ahead and copy this and move it to the client side actually. So we'll go with plus page.server.ts, and we can then uh, I don't know why that won't work. Const export const actions, and this is going to be act. Okay, I think again uh, I'll go with the default one, and we can actually go with async function because we'll need to await at least some of the things, and we can from here return name as uh, Aditya. Okay, right. Uh, 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 and we'll have to definitely remove it from here, right? And we can also remove logger because it's no longer needed, and we can move this function to uh, let's just say over here, and we'll remove the on click from here, and this would be type submit. Definitely. Ah, okay, we need a form and it would be of type post, and the action would be default, right? So then we can go ahead and wrap our button in the form itself, and that should give us something to work with right now. uh, where is our okay, here we have our button, and since we no longer need logger, we'll just remove that, and we'll go with data and form equals dollar props. So Svelte gives us these two values to actually uh, get the data, and then from here if we can say if form exists, what we can do is display form dot name. Right. And and we aren't actually running anything. So how did I even think that this would work? So this seems to work quite well, and I don't actually have any errors over here, which is a good thing in general. Like, I don't like errors that much, though people do sometimes like that. Okay, so why am I getting type issues uh, when I actually went ahead and disabled TypeScript? Like, I didn't even use TypeScript, but I've named the file as TypeScript, and that is why I'm getting this error. So I'll have to change it to JS actually to get rid of those errors. And it works quite well. Uh, to prevent a full page reload, I can use enhance, use in, uh, and I'll have to import it manually. And this will prevent a full page reload when I submit the form. So easy. Like, one of the things about SvelteKit is that it makes working with forms super easy. Like, I haven't seen a framework that actually does this as good as SvelteKit. But one downside is that if you have got these form actions on a particular route, then you cannot pre-render that route. And I think that maybe they'll be working on this in the next version of SvelteKit, where they'll allow something like partial pre-rendering. So some parts of your web page could be pre-rendered, whereas others can be left for later. So that would actually lead to better performance uh, and response times for your users at least. Right, 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 right. Oh, Jazza, 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 Jezebel, Jezebel spotted. I think Jezebel went away. Ooh, now what do I do with this whole thing? This can be quite. I think this can be not like Do I think this is going to be problematic? Problematic. Problematic. What do you think is the most problematic thing in the world? I'd say it is something to do with something. Right. Okay. Let's go and set up Prismic client and make this whole thing work. Let's reduce first the number of browser things that I have going on over here, because I just keep going over these things. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's like irritating at best. Close the terminal as well. Goodbye, terminal. Okay, I'll take this over here, and I'll also take this over here. And now it just works, right? Okay, and we are in business. Now uh, I've got something going on over here. Like, it's just I can query content at this point. Ho 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 ho. I'll import store. Okay, let me just copy this over from here. And we'll create a new client. Now we have a new client that we have created, but definitely we don't have these variables. And like, are they necessary for us in this case? Uh, I want to create a client and have to pass the name of the repository, and I've done that. Or I can provide the entire. Okay, so what if it isn't unique actually? How would that work then? Does that mean anyone can actually query my content based on uh, like that would mean anyone can just query the content, right? Because I do not see any token that is required for this use case. And it is time for a break. Breaks are generally good, so I'll take that. Uh, let's get back to work after some time. I mean, I have to say that this is pretty like pretty good, pretty good. This looks pretty good. Let's start our timer and get back to. Okay, now that we have our Prismic client, let's just try fetching something. Right. And we'll get page and the UID is going to be home. And what we'll do is store it in const page equals and we'll return the page right here, right, and see if this works. And it for some reason works without us having to provide any kind of authentication. Like, did we provide an authentication or not? Maybe it is much more related to me being logged into Prismic through their CLI. So maybe that is what is creating the verification right here. But that is definitely. But to change anything again, I'll have to use some of these API keys. Like there are multiple tokens that I need to provide in order to access something. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get something that is of type. So I think the type was, what was the type? If I go back to, okay, think that I'll have to go with what the type was, or what was the type actually. Let's just look at this and okay, the type is tutorial. Okay, the type is tutorial and it is this is our, let's say, the, and right here what I'm going to do is instead of just doing that, I'm going to go with json.stringify form.name, right, and form.name. I think that should work much better now, and we should get uh, the whole data right over here, and we do actually get that data, which is like a much better and easier option for us to work with. uh, at this point I think that because the migration API and that thing as well, they both have it has tabs. And does the thing that I'm working with have tabs is something that I'd want to know. Do blogs have access to tabs? Because if they don't, then I'll have to first of all work on that and make sure that the blogs are available there. So let's just see if we have in our slices tabs available, and we do not have tabs. So in that case, we'll have to switch our project, go back to open recent, and let's just quickly get this done. Okay, this is not the one that I wanted. I wanted. Right. And to work with this, I can simply look at the kind of slices that I have in here. So I've got quiz, tabs, accordion, and rich text. Whereas in blog, I don't think I have quiz, nor do I have tabs. So I'll have to add two other slices. Uh, Select existing, and I'll select quiz as well as I'll select, let's just say, I'll go with tabs. Yes, that is what I wanted. And that should work pretty much really well. I can push the changes right now. I think I can also quit this. Right, I've pushed those changes and I'll definitely have to wait a bit to make all of these things work together. But I think I can close this one, but that also closed my I'll have to go back to E. I think this one was okay. Now we are getting the content, and what we want to do is take the data and everything that we get for that particular item and have it available for this item, and that will mostly do the trick for us. Right, so that will do the trick. So I'll definitely have to go ahead and change some of the things that we get for this page. So right now we are just querying one of them, right? And so we are getting the whole thing like this. But again, if we are going to query all of them together, the payload would the response that we get will be somewhat different, and we'll have to actually work through some of the things like manipulate the data in order to make it compatible to our new format. So we can start off with that, and to do that we can take uh, okay, so we'll create a payload, and it is going to have the title, which is going to be page.title. Then it is going to have a UID, which is going to be page dot uh, UID. Then it is going to have, what else is it going to have? So Okay, go down, you asshole. Okay, so we can see kind of that we have something to work with right here. And what exactly is that is anyone's guess but mine. So, we don't have to give it anything else, I guess. I'll just have to change the. Okay, I don't think this is going to work as I expected to. I think I was deconstructing it wrong. And so we were able to remove topic at least from here. Which is a good thing because now we can proceed with something else. Like the thing that I was doing wrong here is that I was actually using the object deconstruction method when I should have used the array deconstruction method, which is like, okay, but instead of filter in that case, I can also go with the map function. And the map function, I can actually, through the map function itself, like we can do some of these things. Like if we go with key and value, we deconstruct that and we get return, right? And uh, we'll return if key is equal to uh, uh, topic. We are going to just go ahead and return false, and else we are going to return uh, else we are just going to return, what are we going to return? I'm confused now. Ooh, there's a rocket. I think this works for now for us. Like, uh, I mean, we don't have to deal with the topic at this point, and we get rest of the values, of course. What other things did we require at this point? Like, that is going to be a main issue. Uh, I have got the lang, I have got the data payload, and I have got this as well, right? So at this point, I want a function that I can pass in this payload to, and it then I'll just go with await migrate payload, and this is going to take the payload itself, and I'm then going to go above and create this function, uh, const migrate payload, and it is going to take a payloads thing, right? And it is going to do uh, the whole thing of migration, right? So its responsibility is going to be this. Or should I just go with initiate migration? Initiate migration. And this thing isn't going to work quite well for me. I'm just going to pass an payload into it. Initiate migration. And we can definitely await that, and whatever the response is, we can return it from here. Return response. So we can simply convert it into a JSON format and then return it. And we can just say const response is equal to await, and we can look at the response itself. Forgot to take the short break, so I'll just take it right now. Let's keep going at this point. Let me just do like this so that it looks like there's an aura behind me, like I'm some sort of reincarnation of a god or something. Though I have this payload configured and I've created a initiate migration uh, function which is going to take that payload and then submit it to Prismic. But of course, it is going to require some other things. In particular, it is going to require, okay, I have provided the application type. For authorization, we need bearer and token. So, and the authorization obviously will go in the header itself. I guess we have this whole thing for reference. Uh, right. Okay, authorization. We can give the token and like I think I can just copy this whole thing from here and provide it right here, right? I think that is a better option as far as we are concerned. I've got the authorization and for token, I'm guessing we'll need the right token and for API key, we need the X API key and for the repository, he'll need this and we can just see if we are able to actually get this working. We have got the title, the UID, the lang, the data. Do we also need the type as well? So type is going to be page dot type. I think that should give us some kind of response to work with so that we can actually see if things are going accordingly. And I'm going to hit the rocket button. We get an error. Okay, so we are using the global fetch, and that is what has caused the error in this case. Okay, we will also provide it the fetch. Okay, is it isn't the uh, relative URL? I think this is the absolute URL that I've given it. But even if it does not seem to work, I guess I can just get the fetch API kind of and work from there. So I get the fetch API here, which Prismic provides us. Sorry, SvelteKit provides us, and then we are going to go over and work with this fetch so that at least we can do away with the error and see what kind of problems we get now. And we still get kind of an error. Uh, why can't I use a relative URL when I'm actually providing a absolute URL? This is an absolute URL, right? Okay. Oh, okay. I've given it the migration URL. Let me just see if I have uh, the items correctly. If I go to environment variables, yep, I don't see any kind of issue here that should stop this from working. Okay, okay. Let's just try it again. Okay, now we are getting a response finally. But again, this relative URL thing is going to be causing issues for us again and again. Though we have deconstructed the fetch option right here, and we are providing that to maybe it's because I have create client over here, and maybe I should just also provide that over here, right? Create client and fetch and cookies. So maybe I can also provide it with uh, fetch and cookies. Does that actually help in any way whatsoever? Okay, it is using it as a kind of uh, relative URL, which I do not want. I want to use the global fetch. I'm not using a relative URL. Okay, maybe I get where the error was coming from, and it was a typo. A typo is bad. Generally, it is bad, but I can just now go ahead and click on this again. And does it solve any of our problems? Okay, now at least we are getting a bad request instead, because there may be something wrong with the uh, payload itself that we are sending off. So let's just see what else we need to send. We need the type. and we have given the type. We need the UID, and I think that we have actually configured the UID over here as well. And the uh, this thing, yes, we have created the UID. We have created the title as well. We have the title, UID, type, and lang. And for data, we have also created that whole thing. We have got data as well. Uh, do I have to sort of enter anything else to make this work? Okay, I have got the uh, this thing as well. I'm sending the name of the repository. I'm also sending the X API key, and for authorization, I'm sending the bearer token. And maybe the token that I'm using is the wrong one. I mean, that can be an issue overall. So we can rectify that right now because JSON the stringify payload should be working fine. So let's go with permanent token instead and see if that actually helps us out. Okay, now we have a bad request and then we have been forbidden. Let's just see, try the migration API. I'll need the documents and the post request to this URL, and here's what it is going to look like. We do also have an interactive guide for this. I think that I can go through it faster than ever before. Create and update new page via the migration API. Go set up the API. Use the API in your browser and let's just see what they have here. Mm, right. So method is post and body is going to be stringified and it is going to take the payload to return the response. Um, let's just try it once more. Let's just see if I've got it correctly. I mean, does this actually do anything for me? Mm. Now, even though they go with response.json, we know the error message is pretty clear. User is not authorized to access this resource with an explicit deny. Alright, let us then try with this. Okay, so I need to use a write token instead of a permanent token. So I guess their documentation is wrong about it. Then the value of the title property must be a string. And I think it is a string right here. So if I just get it here, I can show it to you guys. Like now, if I work with it uh, instead of, and it has been uploaded. If I now go to the migrations release page, I should find that this has actually been created there. Okay, so we can see that we need to use the write API instead of the uh, uh, permanent token. All right, and so I'll definitely be archiving and deleting this. Uh, so that I can just create this whole process for the entire for all the documents that I have right now. Uh, Another thing that I really want is that it says that the title must be a string, right? And isn't that what it actually is? Isn't it a string? Let's just see if it is a string or not. And if we do that and look at it, we can see that uh, okay, so the title goes in there, and so if we go to page dot data dot title, if we just want to query that and see what the object looks like, we can see that we have something else entirely, right? And so when we are querying it, we are getting the error because of that. So we can just go with the as text option, right? Prismic dot as text and page dot data dot title. I think that is more or less going to uh, solve our problem right over here. Right, so let's go back to the archives and just delete whatever content that we have and we are sure that we aren't going to use, right? So that we can clear up everything and get back to working on it. So, I think I'll need more coffee as well. And I forgot to take my meds. Meds, like you have got to take them if your doctor has prescribed them. I don't want to makes me want to be a doctor as well. I could then prescribe myself meds, and that would be awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, 3 documents deleted. Okay, so this is the third focus period, I'm guessing. Not a lot of time left for us in this particular session, but we have actually done a lot. We have created a migration script that is going to allow us to take all of those documents in courses and then submit them there in what we call insanity. What we call it? We call it insanity. Okay. So Prismic provides us with this helper that allows us to work with some of these things. Uh, we are also going to want to loop over. So what I want to do in this case now is to go ahead and not just get by UID. What I want to do is get all of them by get by type, right? And what I want to get is the tutorial by type. And then we are gonna have to loop over a lot of these things. So again, we are going to need a loop for const uh, post of page dot results, because that is where all of the posts are going to be. And we are going to use a for loop because the normal array methods do not actually support the await keyword, so something to be careful about. And we are going to then place all of this, all right, all of this into the for loop. So it is going to create this new variable payload data. It is then going to take uh, post.data, and then it is going to start pushing it. And we'll also have post.data. Let's just go ahead and okay, so we do not have it at a lot of places, in a lot of places. So we are just going to go with post.uid and post.lang, right? And we basically get everything working properly. We can now uncomment these. So we'll, as soon as we are done with each of these responses, we would want to do something with it, right? And the exact thing that I want to do with it is to print it all out, right? If I go ahead and look at the response that we got, Like, what was the response that we got? Uh, we got the ID, the type, the lang. Okay. So what we are going to do is store it in a variable somewhere. Right. And instead of logging it to the console, we are going to go with results dot push, and we'll push this response. And then we are going to just, once all of this is done, return the results. And on the front end, we are going to use these results, right? And to actually walk through that, we are going to use each form dot results as a result, and and then we are going to have what was it that was returned? I missed the whole payload, uh, which was returned actually, because that actually had a pretty good summary of what we'll be getting back. Okay, let's see if that actually works for us. We can just have a pretty quick, uh, we can ask our friend Claude to generate something. Okay, so I think that, okay, no, dude, no, dude. Uh, okay, I think that we'll be able to get this whole thing. I'll just copy it from over here and paste it over here. So let's see what we get actually. When we initiate the migration, we have wrapped everything up in a nice for loop. And will that work? That is the main thing right now. Will that work to initiate this? One, two, three. Okay, I'm also going to stop the server, clear everything up. Clear, clear. Okay. Ooh, let's just pray to our gods. Uh, I pray to Pastafarian god, the pasta monster. You can feel free to pray to Zeus or Athena or whoever cuts it for you. But let's just go reload, and rocket. Why is nothing happening? Why? Okay, I'm guessing I got all of them, but they didn't actually show up here. Like the migration is complete, but I didn't get the whole thing didn't appear. Though that is all right. I mean, I'm not complaining or anything. It would have been better if I got something at least, right? But nonetheless, let's just see. Our migration is complete. Let's see if we have got everything properly. We have got SEO data right here, and we can now connect it to our preferred guide. I'm the author. Okay, so then I can start uh, deleting all of those tutorial pages, and I can also look at some of the ways that I can make this more robust at this point, right? uh, Obviously I'll have to create a new guide page as well to get all of that data in here, and then finally I'll have to redirect the pages would be which would be a challenge of its own. But yeah, I mean, let's document this when we get back to working. I'll just document this whole thing. That is how their uh, whole migration API actually works. Right. So that would actually simplify the process for me if I have to do it later some other day. Uh, pretty cool that I could just, instead of copy pasting everything, I now have a workflow that will allow me to in the future easily migrate all of these content. Or maybe if I've got a client or something, ooh, like ooh, if I've got a great client like who pays me billions of dollars to configure Prismic for them, I just may go ahead and use this migration API to help them too. Ooh, damn, damn, ooh, damn. And maybe I can also get the page data and then from here sort of link things, but that's a whole different thing. Right now, I'm not concerned with it. I'll also look at the meta image. Like maybe I'll want to go with image for each of these. Uh, Partly because uh, I think okay. So guide. I think I don't want a single guide to be the end all of this. Like I'd want to be able to have multiple different types of guides. So that actually is done at this point. Like I was able to configure the migration API, and I think that I'll be able to work with the migration API in the future much more easily. Right. Uh, this thing I was configuring it for the first time, so it took a lot longer uh, than it should have. But now I have a good workflow. It's quite easy and intuitive. I think that some of the libraries Prismic has provided make it quite simple. Like it's just not a piece of cake, but yeah, once you get used to it, it is a piece of cake. Which reminds me, I'll go ahead and have something to eat. Like I'll have a bite and then get back to streaming again. But for now,